What is going on, people? Welcome to Spoiler Alert. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'm looking for Skywalker.
Brian Munjoma.
I can finally talk about the game now. The film.
And, of course, Mr. Alex Nuss joining us from Junkie Monkeys.
Yeah, always a pleasure. What's up, guys?
All right, so tonight we are here to spoil the shit out of Star Wars The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
All right, so, as always, we give you our quick little thoughts before we jump in. I thought the movie was fantastic, man. This is the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back. I mean, that's not really saying much because look at the prequels and stuff. But yeah, man, like this was like a pure love letter to Star Wars fans, and I fucking loved it, man. Manny, quick thoughts.
I liked it. I don't see it on the level of course, any of the level of the original trilogy, but it does come close. It comes a lot closer than the prequels.
Yeah, definitely. Brian.
It was good. There's not really much wrong with it per se, but again, it's not the greatest film ever made, so it was better than the prequels. And that's all you know.
Alex, man, quick thoughts.
Yeah, I'm younger, so I have a different perspective than you guys. I grew up with the prequels. I actually like this movie better than the original and prequels.
Yeah, just so you know, you're like probably 2 years younger than Brian, so it's not like that.
Really? No, I don't know. I assume you guys all watched the original trilogy before the prequel trilogy.
Of course.
Yeah, I
actually watched the.
Oh, not Brian. Yeah, not Brian.
I actually watched the prequels before because, I never knew that the originals even existed. I was like, oh shit, what's the Star Wars thing?
How did you feel about the prequels then?
They didn't make much sense, compared to the rest of the films, in terms of what the hell happens. Because at first I watched the prequels. I'm like, okay, what's the Star Wars thing? And then I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, oh yeah, I've just watched the Star Wars films. They were pretty good. It's like, oh yeah, did you watch the original or the prequels? I'm like, original? What do you mean by original? Like there's ones before Episode 1. And he's like, oh no, Brian. Oh, no. I'm like, what? Like there's 4, 5, and 6. I'm like, I'll be back. So I went and watched them. It's like, oh, okay. I can see what they did with the prequels, but they don't seem to match up in terms of who the hell was in the driving seat or what was in the driving seat. Mm-hmm. It's like the prequels just felt what's what I'm looking for here. They didn't feel as if they were a labor of love. They felt like they were just like, we need to get these things out. We need to do this. They felt forced rather than actually
forced.
They felt forced.
Pun not intended. Trust me. Yeah, they just didn't feel organic. It just didn't sit right with me. And yet, then Episode 7 sat perfectly fine. So, and of course, Jar Jar Binks. Even the first time I watched it, I'm like, who's this Jar Jar Binks guy? He's just frustrating.
Yeah, even as a kid, I didn't like him, but I haven't. Besides today, I haven't watched the prequel trilogy at all since being a kid. So I was in love with those three. But I mean, I could see all the criticism from them. I still have nostalgia for them, so I still like them. But I do like Episode 7 more than all 1 through 6. Personally.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've heard the younger guys saying that. The older guys obviously no. Original trilogy is better, So it's I'm noticing a split in the community.
I think the biggest thing about this though is the fact that the one thing to keep in mind is it will never be as good as the original ones.
Yeah, obviously.
Plain and simple.
Because it's just.
But in general, I felt from this film it wasn't trying to be better than the originals.
No, it was paying homage to it, and that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it was giving you a little bit, but it wasn't letting those sorts of things bog the story down too much. You know what I mean? Of course there was a couple of things that came from Convenient Town. It's like, hey, I'm gonna say, go a quick little thing on the ending. It's like at the end of the film, she literally got all the unique things that Star Wars is known for at the end of the film. She has all the Star Wars collectibles. She's got R2-D2, she's got Chewbacca, she's got the Millennium Falcon, and she's got a lightsaber.
Yeah, she got it all.
All she needed was a Darth Vader helmet.
Well, that's a symbolic passing of the torch. That's how I saw it. So yeah, let's get into it. So this movie takes place about 30 years after Return of the Jedi, right? And out of the ashes of the Empire came the First Order, and the rebellion turned into the Resistance, and the Republic was floating around somewhere in the middle. So there's obviously still wars going on in the stars. And then
just wars, just wars not worth talking about.
yes.
And also, there's still giant letters just floating around in space.
Yeah,
They still haven't solved that problem yet.
I'm glad you bring that up because I was telling Manny about this. I actually thought about this seconds before the movie started. I was like, we're not going to hear the 20th Century Fox thing. Now, if you watch Star Wars a million times, you know that it's always dun, 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 that's embedded in your mind. Like when you hear that, you're like, oh shit, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. But this time it was just a very nonchalant Lucasfilm.
It's literally the portion of the film that's after the 20th Century Fox logo. So if anybody felt so inclined, they could put a 20th Century Fox logo at the beginning to make the film feel better.
Maybe I'll do that because it's just weird. It's like, wait, it's missing something. Because I don't know how many times I've seen the original movies. It's just been many, many times. So that's embedded in my mind and stuff. Isn't it even in the soundtrack? Look at this.
Actually, yeah, it is. Because
yes, it is.
There's a fun little thing about it because when they did the original film, the 20th Century Fox logo had this really bad old recording, and John Williams was like, no, we can't have that. We can't have this crappy sounding thing at the beginning of the beginning of our thing. Okay, what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna re-record that thing as well. Just part of our sessions.
It is part of it.
Yeah.
I think he froze again.
Yeah. It from what it does is actually blends into the from that 20th Century Fox logo to the the beginning of the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that weirded me out. But then after that, so the credits and all that, and it also always starts off in space.
The spacing seemed different in these.
Yes, it does.
It seemed like it was shrunk because I remember in the older ones, it seemed like there was a lot more words across.
Yeah. Also, it seemed longer too. I think they added an extra an extra paragraph or something.
I don't know. Maybe it's because they pushed the words together closer.
That's because they pushed them together. But did they push? Now, was this thing as widescreen as normal Star Wars? It didn't look like it.
No, widescreen. Most Star Wars films, at least the other ones, were a little bit more letterbox than most. I forgot what it was called.
I know the aspect ratio is 2 by 33. Right, something like that. It looked like this was 16 by 9, so maybe that's why there's that extra, paragraph. Maybe it's not an extra paragraph; it's just because everything's shrunken. It just very interesting. So yeah, I mean, the movie doesn't really take long before it gets right into the action and stuff, introducing us to the new characters. Was this guy's name Poe? Whatever, he's flying around in a TIE fighter.
Or as he's known by most people at 20th Century Fox, Ivan Ooze.
Oh, that's Ivan Ooze?
No, he's not Ivan Ooze. Ivan Ooze is a famous actor, but he does play an Ivan Ooze-ish looking character in a new certain X-Men film.
Oh, that's him. That's
Yeah.
Apocalypse. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's that dude.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Oh, okay. That's the other hidden cameo in this. I'll skip right to it. Did you guys know that Daniel Craig is in this movie?
No.
Yes,
well,
he
I mean,
is.
I know now. I didn't know going into it and watching it.
Yeah, I didn't know this until after I saw the scene. Obviously, remember the stormtrooper that what's her face mind controls? That's Daniel Craig.
He actually,
Yeah.
but when I thought about it after, I was like, yeah, he does kind of walk like because Daniel Craig kind of swings his hips a little when he walks.
Yeah.
So he kind of did that when he walked away.
Yeah, replaying his voice in my mind, I can kind of hear it, but maybe that's just me morphing the voice in my mind.
No, the thing is, when I saw it, I'm like, this guy has a distinct kind of voice.
Yeah.
Something was in there because remember the last movie I saw was Skyfall, so that's still the back of my head. Not Skyfall, the last Bond movie. We didn't do a spoiler alert on that. Anyway, Star Wars. So yeah, this thing kicks off fast and stuff. You see the stormtroopers come in there. And one stormtrooper was very hesitant to shoot.
Which, mind you, that is actually a very good question to ask. All the horrible things that stormtroopers do, isn't there just one that says, whoa, this is crazy.
Well, aren't they like conditioned from because he was like a kid and they were all conditioned on the way up, and then he's just like the anomaly.
Conditioning doesn't always exactly work. One or two times it goes a little off, as we've seen.
One or two times.
We've seen with our boy right here.
Well, I guess they figure it out because you see Captain Phasma.
Phasma, yeah.
Phasma, yeah. You see Captain Phasma like notice that he didn't shoot at the at the people. So he's like, oh, let me see your gun. So I guess he's the first one to like get away. Like maybe they did see the other ones before, but they just got them.
I mean, they said send him to reconditioning, so I'm assuming this has happened before. You know?
Yeah, but not with him.
Not
later
with him.
on, they actually said, "Oh wait, it's the first time he's ever done anything stupid like that."
Yeah, you mean not kill a bunch of innocent people?
Well, I mean, I don't, I feel like that even maybe that is also, just the way his story kind of goes. I think that also might have been the first time he was sent out.
Yeah,
that
he was a janitor. Remember?
Yeah.
He was just on the base.
Yeah, he said that was like his first time out. I think it was when he confessed to Ray that he was a stormtrooper, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was his first time out. But the thing I heard some people complain is like, oh yeah, if that was his first time, why was he so good at wielding a lightsaber? It's like he still probably had a shit ton of training.
Yeah, they're all just because I'm sure every single person who is a stormtrooper, they're all conditioned to do things, and it doesn't being obviously they don't probably play any favoritism between them either. They're just like, all right, you do this.
Yeah, and there's a difference between shooting people, innocent people, and trying to save your ass. You know, that training probably kicked in. But then again, I mean, we'll talk about Kylo Ren in a little bit. Actually, Kylo Ren. Let's talk about him because this guy got introduced right at the beginning of the movie. This guy got introduced, and this at the beginning you're like. The first thing he does, you're like, yo, is this guy more powerful than Vader? He stops a fucking laser blast in midair and holds it there for like a minute. Like, holy shit, dude. Fucking awesome.
I think also, because he's probably had a little bit more training. Well, then again, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Also, Vader was also partly cyborg.
Yeah.
Or was a cyborg. So, I mean, maybe his force wasn't as, he was powerful, but not that powerful. But at the same time, I also think it's also about showing things that you'd see with the Force that you may have not seen before. It's like, exactly. Why wouldn't he be able to do that? How awesome would it have been? How awesome would it have been if, like, the Emperor, we're shooting at the Emperor, and he just goes, and just freezes the energy blast in the air, or like the part
freeze it,
or the part where Darth Vader is just sitting at the dinner table. Apparently, for some odd reason, and they shoot at him, and he blocks the things with his hand. That was the most awesome Vader moment, because like, oh shit, he just blocked that shit with his hands.
I guess if they would have had the special effects for it, he could have just stopped him in midair and shot him back.
Yeah,
like Neo. Yeah, Kylo Ren, man, and he was in the movie a lot too. And then obviously we learn why, because he is the son of Han Solo and Leia. Very interesting.
Which they just let go. Which is very interesting. Like, they don't give you any. They don't do any what do they call it? Question magic boxes or mystery boxes with him. They just like give it to you in a bit of a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind that though. Just get that out of the way.
No, it's not a big deal. I mean, the one point that happened. After some point, he just didn't wear his mask anymore. It's like, oh, I don't wear my mask anymore.
Yeah, because fun. That was a pretty fun moment because she was like, oh, you're a monster behind a mask. And he's like, no, I'm actually not. But even though when he took off his mask, I'm like, damn, dude, you had a big fucking nose. Shit.
Though he does look like kind of a weird Cro-Magnon version of Harrison Ford, and I think that's the reason why they chose him.
Yeah, I was talking to Brett about this. Who, by the way, Brett wanted to be on, but he was working. He's like, when he took his helmet off, I just said to myself, that is a very unfortunate looking individual.
Hey, listen, why does everybody have to be incredibly handsome?
But I did like the fact that he looked like a eviler version of like Anakin, which makes sense. That's his grandson,
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job of picking his actor. I think he played it well. He just looks like, if you just look at him, he looks like he has a flawed personality, and that's that's pretty much what he has.
I think let's just keep it real. I think if George Lucas was a better director, this is what Anakin would have been like. He would have had the feel of Kylo Ren, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously George, you know, I'll get to that later about the directing in this movie. But what else? Yeah, Kylo Ren. I liked him. He was cool. I liked Finn. Let's talk about Finn for some more.
Yo, man, what about our pilot? He's the man.
We'll get to him in a bit. Poe, yeah, we'll get to him in a bit because I got some things to say about that guy. But I want to talk about Finn real quick because I liked his little character arc in this where he kept lying and stuff like, yeah, I'm part of the resistance. I'm part of the resistance. They're trying to play it off and stuff. You know, he was really good in this. Boyega, I think his name is.
Yeah, and he got rid of his accent.
Yeah, he got rid of his accent. Yeah, I keep wanting to call him Bodega, but it's not Bodega. It's Boyega.
You mean Boyega?
You know, like obviously this is skipping forward, but I really want to see what his character arc is going to be in the future. But my question to you guys is, do you think he's force sensitive or not?
No, I don't think.
No. Just like Han Solo isn't and Leia aren't. Like they're just not gonna make every character have.
You can be awesome and not have fucking force with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna lean on the side that he does because. You know, there was little things in this movie where, like, he was hearing things. I'm like, something's going on here. And then he was pretty, even though he is a weapons expert, like, you know, probably is. Like, I'm gonna assume the little something.
He wasn't a weapons expert. Like, well, he knew how to use them, but he wasn't like an expert. He was just
he was a stormtrooper, or at least adequate as a stormtrooper. You know,
which
is probably more than a normal person.
Probably wouldn't have become. They probably have a strict thing, even for people who just run garbage. You know, that you at least can be able to fight and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I personally think he. You know, the thing is, if you ever looked at the way he was doing the lightsaber, any of the lightsaber stuff, he's always trying to block. Like he's always trying to run away and get away with it. So. I mean, it was only a few times where he actually got anything in, but he really wasn't good at all.
Yeah,
he was good enough to block stuff, but he couldn't do anything. In fact, in his fight with his boss battle with Mega Stormtrooper with his bow.
That guy just said, I'm gonna whip this thing out now. Like,
yeah, that guy never shows up anywhere else. He's just like, I'm here to beat you, you know. But even with that guy, he needed to get saved by somebody else for that situation to work because he probably lasted long.
I wish Brett was here because he is adamant that this guy is force sensitive because Brett is like you cannot wield a lightsaber unless you have the force.
That is fucking bullshit.
But I think that's some shit that maybe they establish in the other continuity because I'm like, how did Han Solo pick up the lightsaber to open up the fucking?
Yeah, come on. Listen, you can pick up a lightsaber. Yeah. Even that idiot with the fucking 6 arms could use fucking lightsaber. Nobody ever said that idiot had lightsabers. He was just a robot.
Yeah, he was a robot. Exactly. He wasn't force sensitive. He was just using lightsabers. Exactly.
The thing is like anybody can use a lightsaber. The thing is that there are certain people that are really good at using lightsabers.
Yeah. You mean General Grievous?
General Grievous.
And for the record, he had 4 arms. No.
Yeah, he had 4 arms, so he was even cheating. And all he did was spin his stupid arms around in the friggin' movie.
Well, he did kill Jedi to get those lightsabers.
He was such a cool character as well.
Because that's the one thing that the Force doesn't work against: spinning arms, or spinning arms.
He was just so underused in the prequels. To be fair, like he could have done just so much more. Like a character whose sole purpose is to collect lightsabers. So come on, but no, fucking
missed opportunities.
Well, they didn't miss an opportunity with him in the Clone Wars cartoon. He was badass.
Exactly. When I seen that, I'm like, wow, he's badass. And then I see the films, I'm like, he's gonna be even more badass. And it's like, what the fuck's this?
No, George Lucas made him a cackly, coughing supervillain.
Oh man. Okay, Manny, you want to talk about your boy now, right, Poe?
No, man, Poe's the man. No, normal guy. He's sent out best pilot in the galaxy or something. Sent out to find Luke Skywalker. Now that's cool.
Yeah, he's like the classic type hero too. It's like
he's
ready to rescue. Like dashing, all that other shit.
Yeah, he is. He is kind of like that. He is that kind of person, which I kind of feel like he might die.
Oh yeah.
I was afraid he was gonna die. Like when the whatchamacallit crashed. I thought he was dead. Honestly,
He
I
was
was
like,
kind
"Yo,
of.
man, that shit tossed me, and I fell asleep."
Yeah, he's like, it tossed me out. I was knocked out for days in the desert. That's convenient.
Since we were talking about Poe, does everyone know who that old guy was at the start with Poe?
Yeah, who was that guy? He seemed like he was important.
Well, that guy. Well, I know who he's
Because
played by.
they
Yeah.
He's
implied like
he's
that like he and Kylo Ren are related somehow. So does anyone have any ideas or?
No, none at all, man.
all I know is it's Max von Sydow.
He
So,
does
yeah.
voiceovers, right?
He doesn't do that much voiceovers. He played Ming the Merciless in the Flash
Yes.
Gordon movie. Yeah, like
Well,
he's
so
been in
I
a lot of
started-
stuff.
Because I started thinking, I was like, this guy's voice sounds very, very familiar to me. Like I must have heard like his voiceovers.
He's done
something.
voiceovers for films too. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good question because I got the impression that he was somebody important too, but then they never came back to him.
No,
You know?
I think
I'm assuming that somehow him and Kylo Ren are related somehow, because
Let's see,
at
like
some
Han
point,
Solo was like let's see, Han Solo's father or something.
maybe
mm, I don't-
well, the guy said something about family. It's like I knew you before you went to the Force, and then something about family, and then he cut him down. So it's like,
Kylo Ren's like one of the Knights of the Ren. Maybe the old guy's like the master of them or something. He like recruited him.
yeah. I mean, if you're just saying the Knights of the Ren kind of a deal. He could have done that sort of thing. Like
Maybe.
if you notice in that flashback with flashback flash forward that what's her face had, you see there's like 5 other guys standing behind Kylo Ren. So who knows?
Yeah, he came with the Wu-Tang Clan, man. They fucked some shit up. You want to talk about her real quick, Rey? Because she was like, like I told you, she is basically Luke Skywalker and Han Solo in one. Like, she's badass. She could fly a ship. She could fix a ship. And she has the Force.
Or she could be Anakin Skywalker.
That's also true.
Because you remember he used to fix ships and all that stuff.
Now this is pod racing.
Are you an angel?
Now, do you guys think that she's like related to the Skywalker family, or do you think she's
I think
just
so.
like a random anomaly?
I think so. I think she's related. Here's my theory. And even they ditched the extended continuity stuff. Okay, because in the extended continuity, Leia and Han Solo had twins, right? One was a boy, one was a girl. Now they can't be she can't be twins with Kylo Ren because
Yeah, they mention it.
Yeah, they're two. The age difference. But she could be Luke Skywalker's daughter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, but yeah, I think it's Luke's daughter, and then when Luke was training, because there's between the actors, there's a real life 10-year age difference. So I'm thinking like Kylo Ren's like 22, the girl's 12. I don't know how old she was when she was left on Jakku, but I'm thinking when Luke was training Kylo Ren, Kylo kills Luke's the girl, I guess is gonna be his wife or something at that time, kills her and then leaves, and that's why Luke gets so upset and he just bails. And then he leaves the girl on Jakku, and then he like puts like a mental block in her memory. There's like, oh, you don't know who you are, to keep her safe, like to keep her away from everything.
That's a damn good theory, actually. Yeah, because I mean, we don't know who she is, but I'm gonna say she's definitely a Skywalker. But I'm going with Luke on this one. And that theory actually makes a lot of sense to me. More will be revealed later, obviously.
Oh yeah, like 2 years.
Yeah, but she's badass, man. Like she was living on her own version of Tatooine and stuff. And by the way, what I liked about Jakku was like I like seeing the remnants of like a past war. Like some shit obviously went down. Maybe if you play the Battlefront.
Oh no! No, I was about to do that, Tony. Damn.
I got you, Brian. If you play the Battlefront DLC, you'll know what happened. But EA, give us money.
I was
please.
about to say, you could say that there was a battle of Jakku going on.
Yes. No, but even the Battle of Jakku was just letting you know, hey, all this shit happened. And I like how basically all the old guys, they became legends. Like Rey was like, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, she was almost like us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And also, you can see as a meta thing. We
I
inherited this, and she inherited all that.
I think it's also in a lot of the ways it's a kind of remnant of the younger fans of Star Wars.
Yes.
Or it's like I've heard so much about these characters, but I don't know anything about them. So they've all become these kind of faded legends in their world as well.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Only 30 years, and they already become legends and stuff. You know.
I mean, it's not like there's so many systems out there. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
you see them every day. I don't think they have planet to planet like TV. You know what I mean?
It's true. And remember, this is even though it's in space, it's still a fantasy, right? So
Yeah.
that shit could pass into legend. Now I want to talk about that fucking giant ass super planet. Their version of the Death Star. Yeah,
Actually,
their
I
version
really
of
like that. Like I was like when they revealed that I forget what it's called, but like it's just the third Death Star. When they
The
revealed that,
Star.
I was like, come on, are you really going back to that?
Yeah, again, there was just another nod to the old school, you know.
Yeah.
And this movie was full of that. Like the whole thing was like a giant, like when I called that, I was like, hey, this is Star Wars, the Force, Star Wars: A New Hope remastered. This movie felt like a lot of times, like it was just doing a lot of the same beats from the original movie, just updated. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was about to say, yeah, pretty much. Like they had a ton of moments like that. Where I was like, this feels like even like the very first scene where like you have like the Star Destroyer just going across like the planet. It's like, reminds me of the very first scene of New Hope where the Star Destroyer is just like cruising over the ship. It's like,
yeah.
Like this is like, what the hell is this? Like, is this the right film, or someone like switch films, or what's up? But yeah. But I did kind of have an issue with that because it just. But then I had an issue with it because it felt familiar, but I still liked it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Like it was all hitting the same beats, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, this is exactly what I want. But at the same time, they still threw sprinkles of something new. Like you've never seen a Star Destroyer destroyed in a fucking desert like that.
That scene was so awesome.
Like,
I just watched that scene like over and over again. It's like the fucking Star Destroyer is just on the ground. It's just its size is just amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. By the way, I love the setup to the big action scene because the running and stuff like, okay, we got to get to a starship. What about that one? Don't take that. It's a piece of junk. Let's go for that one. Okay, take the piece of junk. They pan the camera on it. It's the fucking Millennium Falcon. I don't know what happened in your theaters, but mine's erupted. They went nuts.
Yeah, yeah, that was awesome.
A great scene. And I like seeing like the Millennium Falcon being flown all fucked up, crashing into everything.
Oh yeah, it's like 30 years old. Well, more than that, but. Yeah.
Now it's not only that; it's like I don't think she's ever flown anything like that before. Yeah, but that whole scene was fucking cool. Like they're going in and out of a fucking destroyed Star Destroyer and stuff. Crazy shit, man. And then like the ending where like the wizard, the fucking gun gets locked up in a position, so she has to fly it up at the Millennium Falcon at an angle just so you get the shot in. Fucking great. And I still like how they had those old school bullshit homing things, for the screens, But
why would it have changed?
Yeah, because it's the same bullshit ship.
The thing is that also you don't get a good idea of how long it's been sitting there. It could have not been that long.
Well, apparently it changed hands, a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but obviously,
that guy sold it from him. Who sold it from him? Who sold it from him? Who stole it from me? It was like it exchanged hands like 5 or 6 times,
But I think in general I feel like it wasn't that long that it's been there.
I'm gonna go.
If he was still looking for it,
I'm gonna go with between 5 and 10 years. It was there,
Yeah.
He wouldn't be looking for 30 years, but obviously he was looking because when by the way, it was convenience town, man. Yes, you call it.
Oh yeah.
The sensor would go up, and he's like, oh, let me go find my ship now.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that whole scene was fucking great. And let's talk about Han Solo real quick. I love seeing the actual Han Solo again, not that guy from Return of the Jedi. This was the scoundrel from the first 2 movies. This guy's bullshitting his way out of every situation and stuff. And then, as usual in Han Solo stuff, he gets out of it through sheer luck, because the girl fucked up with the switch, let those monsters out. Those H.P. Lovecraft-looking monsters, by the way. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, oh, Solo, you owe us money. No, you owe us money. Hey guys, I'll pay you back.
Have I ever let you down?
Oh man, that was fucking great, man. And Chewie, with that fucking badass. It's like a crossbow.
His crossbow.
And I guess that was the first time Han Solo ever used it. Like, I like this thing. Let me use it again.
Yeah, he just does a little callback to it later. It's like, yeah, this thing's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. And then obviously they hook up with the Resistance. And then the very familiar plan. Oh, this thing has a structural weakness here. We have to hit it. Oh yeah, what do we think about that scene? By the way, I know it was Coruscant, but it just felt so like undramatic, when they destroyed Coruscant.
I think at the same time, I mean, they kept on saying that the Senate. Where's the Senate? Coruscant.
Yes, Coruscant.
That's it. They're done. And I made a joke even at that movie there. I'm like, so J.J. Abrams just effectively blew up all the George Lucas planets from the prequels. All the ones that you don't give a shit about.
Did he blow up Mustafar too?
He probably blew that shit up too, and that dumb volcano planet from the third film.
Yeah, that was Mustafar. What about Naboo?
Yeah, that one too. That one's gone.
Dave, but Cloud City. What the hell?
No, that's okay. That's in the original trilogy. He only blew up all the ones from the prequels.
Prequel movies,
So then he just blew up like the green screens.
Yeah,
Yes.
he blew up all the green screen that was in those films.
You guys want to talk about the big moment of the movie, which I saw coming a mile away? Han Solo dying.
Oh, that part. Oh, yeah, that.
When that scene happened, there was just like a split second where I was like, is Kylo Ren really about to like let go of his lightsaber and like turn good? And then I was gonna be so mad if that happened, but nah. I like how they did it though.
Go ahead, Brian.
I noticed that whenever someone in the Star Wars film goes to anything with like a really deep drop, someone always dies. So I was like, Kylo Ren, that's a long fall. Like, someone's gonna die here. Oh, Han Solo, you're gonna follow him. Han Solo's gonna die here because they can't kill off Kylo Ren because like he's like the dude on the poster. Like he's like the big dude on the poster. He is the evil dude. So it's like, oh, they can't kill him. It's like, okay, so Han Solo's gonna die. Like, okay. Will it be like a gruesome death, or like a meaningful death? And it's like, and then he goes through his speech. It's like, oh, I am so conflicted, and like, oh, the dark side. And if you notice, that was the exact same moment when the sun was being eaten.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when the light went away. And I was like, I see what you did there, Abrams. Like you're tying the whole thing together with like his light side is going away, the sun's going away, the light is going away in him, and all that's left is darkness. Like. I see that.
Yeah, that was a great scene. By the way, but the thing is, watching that scene, I was like, do these people not believe in handrails? Like, that looks very dangerous.
Oh, it costs too much money. If you want to build a giant
everywhere else had handrails except for that area.
Yes, except for that part. No handrails there, because they
have to
knew.
cut corners.
Yeah. But yeah, you knew Han Solo was going to die, man. Like, he had to. It's like, what's he going to do in the next movie? Nothing.
Here's the thing. It's like he can't. Han Solo only works in a few different ways, and at some point he has nothing to do. Like in Return of the Jedi, once you've saved him out of Jabba's palace, which is the big thing in that, then what do you got? Like he really should have died in blowing up the Death Star in the in that movie.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to, but I guess somebody chickened out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get to the main thing about this movie. Okay, the fucking acting. This is the first time we've seen good acting in a Star Wars movie in a very long time, and you could tell.
Well, the other film. I mean, if you're comparing it to the sequels, yes, but in the first few films, it wasn't bad.
No, the first two movies had good acting because George Lucas, even though he directed the first one, he kind of just let them do the thing because he was so mad at the special effects. The second one, obviously, Irvin Kershner directed it, and then the third one, that had some questionable acting, but not nearly as bad as the prequels. Horrible acting in the prequels, because you could tell usually like say the line this way, say it, in this manner. This one you could tell Abrams was like, hey, say it the way you want. Oh, you want to ad lib? Go ahead. You could tell there was a lot of moments, especially with Boyega. He was just throwing stuff in there, and I thought it was fantastic. I I really like that. Like you wouldn't see stuff like this. See, I'm the boss now. I'm the boss now. You wouldn't see Lucas throw shit like that in there. You know. So yeah, what do you guys think of the acting? I mean, obviously the acting was still like overblown and over dramatic, but compared to Star Wars,
that's
Star Wars,
kind of that's kind of where you are, you know.
Exactly. But yeah, it was good. Like there was more subtlety in this. Basically, there was never any subtlety in the prequels at all. You know, it was
that's why I always said that. That's why when after the film I said this is probably what a Star Wars film would look like if Steven Spielberg directed it. Because a lot of it just felt like a Steven Spielberg film, just a Star Wars film, you know.
Yeah, but then again, that's because of Abrams. J.J. Abrams has a very Steven Spielberg style.
In general, his directing style is very Steven Spielberg, very much a lot of the same, the same guys. He feels like the Zemeckis. He feels like classic Lucas stuff. He feels like Spielberg.
Yeah, exactly.
Even John Milius, he kind of has that camp of film in him.
By the way, since we're going to get all these Star Wars movies and spin-offs, why not get Spielberg to direct one of these? Just tossing it out there.
I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have any interest in it.
Who knows? I mean, it would be cool, though.
Yeah, I think he does. He's doing. And here's the interesting thing about Spielberg. He actually films his films relatively quickly. His films don't take that long to make.
Hey, you know what? This one was filmed quickly. You know when they started filming this movie? Last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Look how fast they turned it out in a year and a half.
Yeah.
You know? I say Spielberg, because remember, he could do a spin-off or whatever the hell he wants.
I heard that also JJ is also very quick with film.
Obviously he is. See, look how fast he cranked this one out, But yeah, I thought that the acting was great, man. It was just, like I said, I liked all those little things, Even with the scene where she was like, when she hypnotized the stormtrooper, it would never have played off like that. He would have had a very stilted voice, He still had personality in his voice, even though he was being controlled,
Mm-hmm.
And at first he was just like, "What did you just say to me?" Like, what, bitch? Really? Then even the end, it's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna drop your lightsaber." He's like, "Oh, I'll drop my light.
No, he didn't. He didn't go. Oh, drop my lightsaber. He goes. Drop my lightsaber.
Yeah,
my
blaster.
blaster.
I'll drop it. But it wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't have been delivered like that with Lucas. It would have been, "I'll drop my blaster."
It'll sound like him. I'll drop my blaster.
Yeah, you have to sound like me. There's emotion right there on the page. Can't you see it?
It's in the words.
That
is the biggest problem with George Lucas's writing, is that everybody reads like he does.
Yeah.
They all sound like he does. Like I think when you had that original script, when they had those original scripts and he had his collaborators, he even had, back in the old days, he had his buddies looking at it, telling him, "Hey, listen, this is not cool. This is kind of stupid. You should try to think about that again."
Yeah, he didn't have those
in the prequels. It was just him like, "Well, I don't have anybody to tell me what to do. Now I can do whatever I want."
Yeah, he had a bunch of yes men. Let's talk about the other thing I really liked about the movie, the special effects, because there was a lot of practical stuff, a lot of sets. CG was used when it needed to be used, not because it was just like Brian was saying, like in the freaking prequels, it's just like craziness, CG everywhere.
It gets worse as the prequels go on too, because at first it starts off where it's like, they had some sets and they had some blue screen sets, and then later on it just went, "Oh, we're all digital."
Yeah, basically. Like, Brian, what was it? You got pissed off with the stormtroopers when you were watching the movie again, right?
Oh no, that was me. I don't know, maybe it was Brian too, but yeah. I haven't seen 3 recently, so I don't know about 3, but 2 was off. Like, 1 wasn't too bad, but 2 was awful, dude. It was I barely
You don't want to hire guys. Like, you don't want to hire guys and put them in suits, know?
And even you have hired like 10 guys and just like copy and pasted it like 50 times, like for those big massive scenes, but it was bad.
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm trying to think, because I was watching there's this guy on YouTube called Cinema Sins, and he just basically he goes through and just nitpicks at films and then things that he thinks are like really bad, and he was doing the episode 3. And I was watching through it again, and it's like, a lot of the stormtroopers are CG. That's something I never noticed before.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, none of that in this movie. I mean, obviously, the movie had CG, but not as much. That they even had like miniatures and stuff too. Like it was just like that's the way it should be. Like don't cheap out like that. Just throwing it all in the computer. So I enjoyed that. The other thing I want to talk about the ending with Luke Skywalker. That is the easiest gig for Mark Hamill. Yo, just show up on set one day, wear this robe, and just look at the camera. That's it.
Hey, Mark, we need you to lose about 30 pounds.
Grow a beard.
You're gonna be in scale. You're gonna be, and you have to grow a beard, and you're just gonna stand there and look intense.
Was that scene shot in Ireland? Because I think I saw something where someone said they saw Mark Hamill in Ireland or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it probably was because they filmed all over the place here. So yeah, that was like. But even though the scene didn't tell you anything, it was still cool to me. Seeing he looks like Obi-Wan now, like a fatter Obi-Wan, but he looks like Obi-Wan now.
Yeah,
so,
he's probably gonna be the Obi-Wan to that girl.
Yeah, he's gonna teach her.
Kylo Ren's gonna kill her or kill him. I meant.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be crazy. Yeah, because remember Luke Skywalker trained him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking like, does that mean she's gonna be carrying Luke Skywalker on her back?
Well, that was Yoda's version of training.
Yes. Oh man. Anything else about the movie? I think we kind of covered everything.
No, I mean one thing about this sort of film is that it's very simple. It's not a lot. There was a lot in it, but there was it's not there it doesn't bog you down. I mean, I remember some people complaining about the fact that the New Order doesn't have any history, or they don't go into history as to what's going on.
I wanted to know
into the Republic, but at the same time, you kind of don't need to know. In the original Star Wars film, really, did you know what the Empire stood for? No, you didn't.
Yeah,
they were just a bunch of space Nazis. So literally, this is what the New Order is. It's like, the space. They didn't kill off all the space Nazis. They're still around. They want what they had back.
Yeah, basically, now that they destroyed the Republic, now they're gonna. I guess because remember, no one's officially in charge. So it's gonna be like a big ass war, like more so than ever. I guess
Yeah, well, the thing is, they totally wiped out. They totally succeeded in their plan, and they wiped out the Republic. So they kind of won.
Well, that is true, but they're not in power yet either.
No, they haven't taken it yet because they're still kind of like, hey, we have to find Skywalker.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about this now. So in the original trilogy, right, you had the Empire being built up by Darth Sidious, right? And the Old Republic was still around. In the original trilogy, it was the Empire they were established. Now I think this one is going to be more about because I remember J.J. Abrams saying that they really want to emphasize that this is a galactic war, right, with these new movies. So I think they're going to emphasize that more. There's going to be more of a civil war going on. There's no established government that's being rallied against. It's like, hey, these two forces are just fighting each other for control of the galaxy. I think that's going to be very interesting. Almost forgot. I want to talk about. I think his name was Snoke.
Yes.
Yeah. Who do we think this guy is? Because I'm going to go with the theory that this guy may be Darth Plagueis, the guy who trained Palpatine.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, yeah.
But Palpatine said that he killed him.
Or did he?
Did he?
Well, okay, that's what he said. In that scene where he tells Anakin that he's evil, he said that, I killed Darth Plagueis, and blah, blah.
Well, he in a sideways sort of way said his pupil killed him.
Yeah.
He also had the power of creating life.
But how can you create life when you're dead? It's kind of like...
Well, he created life when he was still alive. But here's the thing. Look how fucked up his face was. It wasn't because he's an alien. He is obviously scarred. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe he survives. I don't know.
But then, how old is he then?
Apparently, Brett was explaining all this to me. Apparently, if you're really, really strong with the Force, you could live for thousands of years, unless somebody kills you, So
and then
who knows?
It just seems a bit weird.
I'm not saying he is. That's just what I think. I could be wrong, But he's
here's the thing: they're not placating those last films, but they do. They're not pretending they don't exist. Because there was that one little bit of throwaway line. He's like, "Well, listen, since your guys are so prone to friggin' treason, why don't we just replace him with a bunch of clones? He's like, no.
No. Yes.
You know, it'd be crazy if Snoke was just Luke.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, he's just using that big hologram as a cover, right? Like Wizard of Oz. Who knows? Yeah, we're definitely gonna get that, and that's what I like about this movie. It sets up a lot of little things, man. Like at the end, it's like, yo, can you freeze me for 2 years so I can come back and watch it?
Just put me in some carbonite and thaw me out in 3 years.
And that's one thing they said too. They want to make this trilogy tighter than the other trilogies, you know. So I think they're definitely going to accomplish that. You know, we're going to see more character development on all these characters and stuff. The other thing is with the girl. I was talking to Brett about this. We had a really good conversation about this. What side will she ultimately go to? Brett and I were kind of saying, would it be more interesting if, you know, because remember, she hasn't been trained as a Jedi, right? And you know the whole Jedi thing is like, oh, we have to restore balance to the Force. But that always seemed odd to me, right? Like, wait, so balance means just the light side, no dark side. How is that balance, right? So what if, you know, maybe she built up a new order of Jedi that are more like, hey, you know, maybe getting rid of our emotions isn't the right way to do things. Maybe we should just embrace our emotions, just not let the really dark stuff take over. Like, it would, because they never question about Jedi. It's like, how does getting rid of your emotions make you better? Like, it turned you into it basically allowed you to, you know, not see what was happening under you, you know, because you're so like strict with these crazy ass rules. So it would be interesting if the following movies kind of question why the Jedi fell and how Jedi actually should be. I think that would be pretty cool, you know. Yeah. So what do you say?
Yeah, I think that'd be neat. I mean, if she's going to start a new order of Jedi, then you need to have more people that can use the Force. I don't know if there's more people out there in Galaxy.
Oh, those people, just invent them. Films.
they're around. So I really just want them to question the Jedi ways, you know. Like, maybe there's a better way of doing things, not the way because obviously the old ways didn't work. Let's try something new, you know. And obviously, like, look at the part when she was fighting fucking Kylo Ren. She was gonna kill that guy if the planet didn't split in half. She was gonna take that dude down, you know. But I don't think that would have made her, like, I don't know if that would have turned her to the dark side, but you know.
And that reminds me, Tony, did you have a problem with the lightsaber?
His lightsaber?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the lightsaber, okay? Because it seems to me like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, here, the theory I have is he's really strong with the Force, but he's not a good lightsaber fighter. You know, like you know, what's his face? Finn held his own for a little bit. What's her face? Fucked his ass up. And look at his lightsaber. It's just like spitting energy all over the place. I don't think he knows what he's doing exactly. You know, I think after Luke kicked him out, he just built his own shitty, like, you know, makeshift lightsaber, you know?
I looked it up on the intergalactic internet on how to make a lightsaber.
Yeah, he did that. He looked it up on Star Wars Google, you know, how to do a lightsaber. He didn't get it quite right, though. You know, the crystal's kind of from a janky planet. You know, it's not the high-priced crystal. You know,
how many times have I told you don't use a lousy crystal like that?
But it's more powerful, Master.
It has more power. But then again, obviously Rey had way more raw power than him. She fucked his ass up, even though he was shot by the crossbow. You know.
Hey, could Chewbacca doing a little bit of an action scene, running down and mowing down stupid stormtroopers?
Yeah, man, he's pretty spry for an old Wookiee.
Hey man, it's okay. They live a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, you know, why not, right? Go ahead, Brian.
I think Chewbacca is the only character that's been in more than 3 movies. He's been in 5.
Oh, yes. R2-D2, C-3PO.
R2-D2 and C-3PO in all of them.
Well, they're robots, so they don't really count.
Oh, yeah.
They don't count.
Oh, they're robots. Like, robots can just be robots, you know. Like,
by the way, did I ever tell you that I was made by Darth Vader?
Yeah.
You're bullshitting.
Anakin's been in 6.
Oh, perhaps you didn't recognize me because of my red arm. It's like, no, bitch, I know it's you.
Yeah, and I just like the way he just did. They just did that so awesome. They just totally diffused that moment, just like, hey, how you doing? And then he goes, oh, Captain Solo.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
By the way, I like the scene with Leia and Han, man. That was again good acting. I like that. Very powerful. Even
Yeah,
though
they
Manny
didn't
said,
need to kiss or anything because they're kind
you
of
don't need that.
they're
They're
kind of
old.
like at that point. Maybe Harrison Ford didn't want to kiss
They're
that.
old.
They're old. They didn't need to kiss, man.
He wasn't getting paid that much.
But
No
but
need to
Manny,
see that stuff.
yeah. But
My
Manny,
my girlfriend.
I do agree with you though. I think they CG'd their faces a little bit because they don't look like that outside the movie.
No, like Carrie Fisher's face, like she looks like they cleaned up her neck. They did a bunch of stuff on there. There's this one studio that specializes in fixing faces, like doing like digital fix-ups on people, and I definitely think they did a lot of it on Carrie Fisher. Like, as you see her now, she kind of looks like her lips are like sideways and stuff like that. It's like she had a stroke or something.
Oh man, I'm glad I didn't say it, but I was thinking it.
But there, her lips were fine. They're even, and she's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm Carrie Fisher."
Man. All right, so yeah. Okay.
Did you
Yeah,
know?
go ahead,
I
Brian.
was noticed that. Well, I noticed two things. First off, no one got their hand chopped off. I was quite disappointed.
Yeah, I thought Kylo Ren did, and then I saw his. I'm like, oh, he didn't get his hand chopped off. Fuck. He just had his face cut a little.
Oh, now the bad guy has a scar.
He has
So
a
he goes on
badass
the list
scar now.
of
Now
every
he's
the
single
reason
bad
why
guy
I'm
that's ever had a scar. I mean, look at James Bond villains. They all have fucking scars.
Yeah.
All of them. It's kind of like a villain like checklist. Like wear black, have a scar, and then
Yeah.
just shout.
And it's always a good looking scar. It's never a really bad looking scar. It's like, yeah, awesome across the face. It's never like a really like stupid scar. Like it looks dumb.
That's got to look awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, yeah, cuts my face.
But yeah, go ahead.
Let's
Brian.
put an eye patch on him too. Make him grow a
And the second
beard.
thing that I noticed is that when they were on the Super Death Star, when Kylo Ren was after he had interrogated what's her face,
That was awesome, by the way. I love that scene.
I noticed on the second watching that his clothing changed from scene to scene.
Uh-oh.
So sometimes he'd have like the hood on or the hood like worn but not on, but then sometimes it'll just be off. And then and then I kept on just thinking to myself so then between scenes he goes off, he puts it on, and then just takes it off. As he's walking around
he's like,
trying to find her.
I'm going to go outside today, so please get me my hood.
He was inside. No, okay, because he interrogates her, and then he finds out that she's strong with the Force. So he goes off and talks to giant hologram guy. He has no hood. And then as he's walking back towards the cell, he has no hood. He gets inside the cell, he has the hood on. So then he goes out, trying to find her again, and he goes to the command room, no hood. I'm like, why are you changing your clothes so often?
No, he's just taking it on and off.
It's because my
Well,
grandmother.
why?
It's because my grandmother used to do it a lot in the prequels.
Yes, that's true. Amidala was always doing that shit. That scene was cool though. It was like there was no dialogue. Obviously, it was just like
Just sounds.
that face like
yeah.
bitch.
Yeah. His dark side force also feels a lot more dangerous. Like essentially where he was especially when he grabbed that guy, he just instantly he just had him in his hand, as opposed to Darth Vader would have been a slow kind of.
Well, this guy, look at his lightsaber and look at his actions. This guy's not controlled. Remember the part where he was fucking up the console? The stormtrooper's like, "Yo, just let this guy. He's done this shit before. Just go. Let's go."
Or the other part where that was the part where he was chopping up the chair, but then there's the other part where he chopped up that console, and the guy is like. He's like, "Is there anything else, Captain?" And then he's like, "Well, this happened," and he went. He's like, "Oh shit!"
See, but I like that. To me, that's the way a dark side guy should be. It's like, why are they always in control? If you're angry, you should be like, "Brah!" You should have those moments,
Yeah, and he's not done his training too, so he doesn't know how to control it. He's not calm and collected like Darth Vader was.
Yeah, exactly. But
Is it anger that's the path to the dark side, or is that fear?
Huh?
Is it anger or fear? That's
fear and anger.
Yeah,
Fear and
okay,
anger.
fair enough. Well,
Yeah,
there we go.
I would figure you would relish in that if you're part of the dark side. You wouldn't be like, oh, I'm controlled now. You would be like, every
Well,
once in a while, it's like,
I
I'm
think
gonna
in
go
a lot.
fucking
I think in a
crazy.
lot of ways. I think in a lot of ways, when you're in the dark side, it's like you still have that level of medium, and then you let all of that out when you battle or something. You know.
Yeah, but he left it out on those consoles though. All right,
Oh,
I want to go ahead, Brian.
one more thing. Sorry, Tony. Another
Sorry.
fun fact. 28 minutes. That was the time for the first Wilhelm scream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally, when they're trying to
waited.
when they're trying to escape they're trying to escape in the TIE fighter. That's where it happens.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Just before they get let loose, then I heard the scream. I'm like, yes.
Have you
I
ever?
was in the cinema,
You ever
yes.
know? You know what movie that's from, right?
I don't know which movie it is, but I've seen the clip.
So yeah, it's like from this one. It's from this like safari film, and it's not in any. It's not even in any context of anybody getting like thrown off of something. It's literally a guy getting eaten by an alligator. That's it. And the thing is, it doesn't sound as fake there because it was actually recorded on the set. So it's like you hear the noise of the set. They've adjusted it and fucked around with it so much that it sounds so goofy and fake.
That's interesting.
But it's still fun, and it's in so many films as well. I never noticed like just how many films it's in.
Oh yeah.
Now they throw it in because it's a joke.
Yeah, even Lord of the Rings has it.
I don't know.
Just
They throw one Wilhelm scream in there.
Exactly. All right, I want to end things off with what do we expect from the next film? What do you expect? What do we want to see in the next film? So let's go down the line here, Alex. What do you want or expect to see in the next film? Episode 8.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't want to see. I don't want this to be like a copy of Episode 5, kind of like The Force Awakens was a copy of Episode 4. Like I thought that was fine. Like you started off like familiar, but then this is the part where you branch off. You have your like everything's different and unfamiliar. And
I'm gonna jump in on that because that's pretty much what I want. I think this was this movie needed to harken back to the old trilogy, right? Just to pretty much show you why you fell in love with Star Wars, right? But now that you set all this new shit up, now it's time to really bank on it for the next one. So I want to see new shit. This is what I want. I want the next movie to actually blow the other movies away, and they have the potential to do it. This is all new shit now. So that's what I want. I want to see Luke Skywalker training Rey. I want to see what's going on with Finn. I want to see more Kylo Ren. I want to see that Snoke. I want to know what's going on with him, and more of the battle between the Resistance and the New Order. Or the First Order. The main thing is I want them to capitalize. Like, hey, this is new Star Wars. We're going in this direction. It's going to be fucking awesome. That's what I want. Obviously you still want to pay homage to the old stuff, but don't do it like this one does. This one needed to do that, right? To reestablish stuff. You don't need to do that anymore. You set your ground. Go in that direction. Brian, what do you say, man?
Well, pretty much the same as you, Tony. But in addition to that, I want to see the Knights of Ren because I felt like they didn't do much with them, which is fair enough. Again, I can't blame them for that. And also, something that everyone seems to have like dismissed, that's General in the Silver Stormtrooper.
Oh yes, Phasma,
Her, like she didn't do shit in this film. Like she just said like 3 lines and then was just gone.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that we'll see a lot more of her in the next film.
Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. For you guys who didn't know, because she's wearing the helmet the whole time.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't have hired her to just be a helmet. So she's probably going to take it off or something.
In an interview she said that she's going to get a lot more screen time in the next movie.
Oh, good.
Is she actually going to do something? Hopefully, because I wanted to do something. Because I was hoping that she was going to do something by the end of the film, but no. Because like my idea for like the end of the film was that again like the final fight, like those two are fighting, and then like she swoops in, she like helps distract him or something like that. I don't know, but she was in the trash compactor maybe. So
who knows, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to see more of her because to me, I see them kind of building her as the new Boba Fett. So really capitalize on that,
Well, I definitely think that she's going to be Finn's villain.
Yeah.
I think they've already just set that up in this one where it's like.
But I will say this: I think she's going to have a turn. I think she's going to become a good guy eventually. Maybe not in the next movie, but I think she's going to become a good guy.
I don't know. She sounds too bitchy.
Hey, well, that's because
You know what I mean? She just sounds like she just doesn't give a damn. You know, like she sounds like she's too conditioned. Is what I guess the more appropriate thing to say was. She sounds like she's heavily conditioned and she doesn't want to break from that.
By the way, hold on real quick. Did you see old ass, Admiral Akbar?
He really didn't look older, but I think they got the older actor. Older, I think they got the same actor to do it, and he sounds older.
It's great. I loved it though.
They also had the other guy that Billy D blew the second Death Star up with. That little hey.
All right, Manny. What do you want?
Wait, one more thing. Something that I don't want. No shield generators. I've had enough of them. No more.
Why? That's a Star Wars
Because then it'll pretty much just be like a retread of the first trilogy. Something like just no shield generators, please.
No Death Stars.
No more Death Stars, man. That Death Star was awesome.
No, it was awesome, but we don't need another gigantic monster planet thing.
And that's another thing that really got to me. Like, how the hell is the New Order funding this? I'm like that thing was massive. Like that thing was like the size of a planet. So like, how the hell did
it was a planet?
It was a planet. They just converted a planet, dude.
Yeah. How did you do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because
you need the materials, you need the manpower, you need the man hours.
Because Star Wars.
Okay,
did they get into the nitty gritty of how there was a second Death Star, or there were reason why there was even two Death Stars, even not built not long?
Why build one when you could build two for twice the price? Remember,
exactly. And the thing is that we don't know the state of the Empire after the first trilogy. After Return of the Jedi. Yes, okay, they showed them rebelling. Everybody's taking it back. Somehow information travels fast. At least in the special edition. But the thing is, they never tell you with the state. Who says that the First Order wasn't? They were already setting all this stuff out. How do we know that Snoke didn't have his own shit going on? And
hey, here's my theory. You know how Snoke? Let's just say he's a giant, because there's a theory maybe he's not a giant at all.
He's not a giant at all.
Maybe he does belong to a race of giants, and they built this shit.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm going to teach you some training.
Man, how you going to train me? You're like
he pulls him up like this. He's like, okay, move your arm like this.
I love how you have Daredevil.
I don't know, because Daredevil's on my table here.
Yeah.
I also have Ghost Rider. See, look, woo!
Oh, that's why you keep singing the Henry Rollins song.
Yeah, that. I also have a Dead Man. Yay! Okay.
Sorry, Manny. Go ahead. What do you want and expect from the next film?
To be honest, I'm not expecting anything. I'm just gonna leave that all alone and just let the films do what it needs to do.
Okay. What would you like to see then?
I don't know.
Answer the question.
Here's the thing. The thing is that number one, there aren't any things that I want to see, because we've already seen a lot of things already, throughout the whole films. I don't want to see repeats, but that's about it. I mean, and now we've got all this stuff we've gotten all this out of our system already. Now just tell me a story. I'm not gonna.
You want them to continue then?
Yeah, I want them to continue. I want to see where this. I want to know the mysteries of what's her face? What's her name? Rey. I want to know her. What's the mystery behind her and her? Obviously setting up a little bit of a silly prophecy for her. I want to see that stuff.
There you go.
I want to see who actually reads these prophecies.
Yeah.
I want to see their faces when they read it. Like, this thing is clearly just wrong and lies. Like, who wrote this?
Yes. I want somebody to go, hey, this prophecy, we kind of read it wrong, guys. Yes,
the prophecy didn't say the way to bring balance to the forces by killing the dark side people.
Yeah, it's like, actually, guys, we read it wrong. We're supposed to make harmony with the dark side, too. We fucked that up, guys. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm just so excited that we're going to be getting new Star Wars movies regularly every year, man. Like Rogue One, we're going to do a spoiler for that shit, too. Ooh, I can't wait.
I just had another thought. The Jedi Temple. Maybe we'll actually see
where is it? Actually, wait, it was on Coruscant, and they blew that shit up.
Maybe Luke has his own one.
Yes, he built another one.
He built it in Ireland.
Maybe
Somehow.
he used those giants, to build it.
I was going to say, the same people who built that giant planet, they built the Jedi Temple for Luke.
I'm just so annoyed at like the logistics behind like the whole Death Star shit, because it just annoys me. It's like, okay, first off, all the Stormtrooper armor, how the hell does that get made, and how does it get shipped for that many millions of people? Sorry, that stuff just blows my mind. Oh, and also the ending where the star thing turned into a star. Fuck that.
Well, that was the moment where I'm like, yeah, this is how you know Star Wars is a fantasy movie. Because no. Okay, look, sucking up a sun is already hard enough to swallow. All that energy suck magically turning into a sun. There's no like nuclear propulsion or whatever going on there. Oh, that's gone.
No, you know what it does? All it does is it transports it sucks the sun into itself, and then it makes another sun inside.
Yeah. So again, Star Wars, let it go, because no.
Yeah. Effectively, they managed to reduce the size of that sun.
Yeah, they made a mini sun.
That sun was bigger than the star, right? Or the Death Star thing.
Yeah. So they made a mini sun.
So you can't just do that.
It's Star Wars. Just let it go.
You know what?
If this was Star Trek, then yeah, you should question the shit out of it. Star Wars, let it go.
I'm gonna say this. It's like it's just a vehicle for something to happen. A planet. Like how much of the Death Star? It could destroy planets, but they didn't give any reason for that or how light speed works. So why try to rationalize the damn?
Yeah, you don't rationalize.
It just works.
Yeah.
It's a giant planet-sized weapon.
Because that's stupid science, like, okay, faster than light travel. Okay, fair enough. It's outside the realm of, like, what makes sense. But that's, like, we know how stars are. Like, that's not how stars are. Like, you just can't do that. You can't just substitute your reality for...
You know what?
In a place... You're having trouble believing that this thing could shoot sun energy out.
No.
Serious goofball power called the Force that allows you to stop things in air, make people float around, right?
Okay, I'm having trouble. Just the fact that it blew up and turned into a sun. That is the only part that I'm having trouble with. Everything else, I'm perfectly fine with. Eating up stars, fine. Energy blow up other planets, fine. The Force, fine. Lightsabers, fine. But that, what the hell? That does not sit right with me.
You're just doing a lot of making a lot of concessions for all these different silly things.
I think that like my tolerance has just like reached its limit at that point. Yeah, it was like, okay, you know what? No. Okay, I'm okay here, but after that, it's like, no, that's too much.
So this is what I say. This is the same guy who made a movie where the black hole was also a time machine. And also the same guy who said, hey, a supernova could destroy the entire universe. No,
really?
J.J. Abrams.
That part?
Did you see Star
Trek? I know
about
the time machine, but I don't know about the destroy the whole.
Yeah, they said, oh, the sun's about to go supernova, and it's going to threaten the universe. That's not how that works. If a sun goes supernova, the only thing a threat is its own solar system, not the galaxy, not the universe. So no, J.J. Abrams, no. That's not how things work. But this is Star Wars, so I'm going to let it slide. Star Trek, I don't let that shit slide.
You think it's over?
All right, let's wrap it up. So yeah, Star Wars, I'm very happy with it. This is the movie that we needed and the movie we deserved. I'm happy and I can't wait. Yeah, it's Batman, but we did deserve it. Oh man, all right.
We didn't even talk about how George Lucas didn't like the film.
Yeah, well, that's why this movie was good. That's how when George Lucas said that, he's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have gone that direction. That lets me know it was going to be a good film, and it was. And it was, yeah. All right, so yeah, that's
looking at his face now.
Yeah.
So you see like all like rave reviews like across the board, like
That's gotta be
9.1 on
burning his
IMDb.
ass, man. That's gotta be burning him, man.
But at the same time, he's like probably just sitting on gold, so he
Yeah.
doesn't care that much.
The thing is that he may have sold the company, but it still doesn't mean he doesn't make money off of it.
Well, he's still making money.
He probably set himself up really well.
Man, I'm telling you, Disney is now Scrooge McDuck, man. Dude, they're making money. I hate to admit it. I'm like, damn, I have to say Disney's one of my favorite companies now. Shit. I have no choice. They make Star Wars and they make Marvel movies.
And they do a good job of it, too.
Yes, they do. Not a good job. They do an excellent job.
Marvel was already doing a good, in Marvel movies' defense, they were already making good films. So.
Yeah, exactly. But if this is the way Star Wars is going to go, man, we are very, very lucky, very, very lucky that George Lucas is no longer fucking this up.
Don't fuck it up, George.
Don't fuck it up.
And the question just turns into, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but how long can this last?
Who knows? It's just like superhero movies, right? Nah, get out of here, bro. This is gonna last. Okay, the answer I always give. It'll last as long as they keep putting out quality shit. When they stop putting out quality shit, that's when people are gonna get tired of it. As long as because we get what 3 or 4 superhero movies a year for the last 10 years, and people aren't sick of it yet. So we're good.
My thought was the 5th trilogy is when things might get a bit stale. Again, I'm just extrapolating to like at what point would this stop or would this get tiresome?
Okay, the fifth trilogy overall, right? Because this is the third trilogy.
The third one, the fourth one, and then fifth one.
Okay. Not only that, Brian, but you also have in between movies.
At that point when we've reached the 5th trilogy, that's when, But
remember,
who knows? I could be wrong. Hopefully, I am wrong.
Yeah. Remember, they've turned this into Call of Duty now. This is an annual franchise. Next year we're gonna get Rogue One. The year after we're gonna get Episode 8. The year after we're gonna get the Han Solo movie. Then the year after we're gonna get Episode 9. Then after year, it's gonna keep going. They said every year, new Star Wars movie.
So, I hope they don't do a 10, 11, 12 though. Like I hope they just do the 7, 8, 9, and then every other.
Like I said, man, as long as it's good, keep it going. I want Star Wars, man. We've been deprived of Star Wars for too many fucking years. Give me Star Wars. I want it now. If it's of this quality, shit, no problems at all. No problems at all. It'll be a good. And I hope I know they're gonna go back to May and stuff. Like, no, can you put it? I like having Star Wars in December. It was good. Because remember when we used to watch Lord of the Rings in December? It's a good way to end the year.
Oh yes.
Yeah, bring that back. I like that. Anyway, so those are my closing thoughts. I think that this movie's excellent. I can't wait to see the future. Brian, final thoughts.
I thought it was pretty good. The issue is that it could never have lived to the hype purely because it is Star Wars. Like it's at the point now where Star Wars is so high. Like no matter what this film did, it could have never lived to the hype.
I'm gonna be honest, I think it did live up to the hype. It did.
I don't think it really did.
I agree. I would agree with Brian.
I think it did.
I think it was
a good. At the same time, it's still really good film. Again, it's really good. It encapsulated what Star Wars was.
Exactly.
Tony, can you? But the thing is that at that point you would have to say that this stands at the same level as the original trilogy, the one that you love. It does not at all. I don't think it stands up to the hype. I just think it's a very good step in the right direction. It's a well done movie. But
maybe it lived up to my hype then, because I saw the first 2 trailers and I'm like, I'm not watching anymore. I'm gonna come in clean, But it definitely okay. I'll give you that. But it lived up to my hype. But then again, the movie's. I think they estimated it's going to make $300 million domestically, so it definitely lived up to the hype in that sense too. Did you hear people are scalping tickets to this?
Are they?
I believe it.
Surprised me.
Think about it. They could easily just wait the next day to watch the movie.
Or you can go early in the morning like I did.
That's what I'm saying. But no, people are actually selling. I saw it on the news. They're selling tickets for $80, $90 because people want to see it.
Wow.
So this is serious.
I should have done that. I had 3 tickets.
This is serious.
I should have just waited the next morning. It's like, all right, I'll just wait 12 hours.
All right, Alex, man, closing thoughts.
That was definitely the best movie I ever seen in theaters before. But that's not really saying much. I don't go to theaters that much. But I mean, it was a great movie. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. This is the best movie I've seen since the first Avengers movie, easily. You know, it had that. Oh, man, this is amazing. You know, Manny, closing thoughts.
Yeah, good film. Not much to give. Not much I could give any more than that. You've already said it. It did all the right things, and I just felt like it wasn't. It didn't feel like a fan fest to me. If it gave you enough, but it didn't bog the story down all the time.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. All right, so that is it for spoiler. I guess we'll be back for Deadpool. That's like the next big movie and stuff. And
That's
I guess we'll
February, right? Was that
yeah,
March?
February, exactly, February. So we will be
Oh
back.
man, next year's gonna be crazy.
Next year's gonna be we will have many. You talking about we didn't have enough spoilers? We're gonna have plenty next year.
It's gonna be one a week next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
Because what? There's Civil War, Batman, Superman, Deadpool,
Rogue One.
Doctor Strange, Rogue One.
There's X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Black Panther movie next year?
No, not next year. That's 2019, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, next year for Marvel is Civil War and Doctor Strange.
Okay, yeah, I know it's some movie besides Civil War.
Yeah, and Suicide Squad's coming next year too, I believe.
There we go.
So yeah, we're gonna be busy next year, people. I guess I want to wish all you guys a happy New Year and all that shit. Happy holidays and all that. I guess non-denominational greeting right there. All right, so. Next time, people, we'll see you. I was Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
Oh, thanks for my lightsaber. Let me take that.
Alex Nuss.
Always a pleasure.
And, of course, Mr. Brian Munjoma.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole star thing. It just makes no sense.
Yes.
He freezes right there. Let's just put the little crawl now.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you around later.
Peace.